By the way, you watched Tenet, right?
Yeah. So
what did you think of that movie?
I thought it was dope. I thought it was dope. I had to watch it twice because like I felt like I didn't get it.
I'm gonna be
the
honest,
first
Terrance,
time.
after having watched it once, I don't know what the fuck it was about. Every time someone threw a punch, even in a non-fight sequence, it looks so awful and
It's
so
made
choreographed and
no.
so
You
weird.
watch it again, bro. They
How it's
made
not
it
gonna get
like
any
that on
that's
purpose.
not gonna get any better.
It's backwards.
No,
all
but
the
even,
fight scenes are backwards, bro.
but what I'm saying is, even when they're not backwards, they're bad.
No,
What do
all
you
of
mean,
them are
no?
backwards. The whole thing is backwards.
What does that mean? What does that mean? See, I feel like you don't understand either. You're just saying
no.
stuff.
Every time, I'm telling you, it's all backwards.
But we see the fight forward and backwards, Terrance.
Everything is backwards.
You're just saying that over and over again. No,
even when it's forward, it's backwards. Play to say back, you'll understand it. I'm telling you, watch the movie backwards.
What are you talking about? You said to watch it again. Now you want me to watch it in reverse?
Yes. Yes,
I'm not
do.
doing that. I don't know how to
backwards.
Do that. I don't have that technology, Terrance. Welcome, everyone, to Need I Say More, episode 47. I am one of your hosts, Giuseppe, joined by the co-host with the most, Terrance.
Yes, sir.
We are feeling good. Energy's high. It's December.
Yeah. I love it.
How you feeling?
I love it. I'm feeling really, really, really good this week.
Somehow it's December. I feel like it was just July, but here we are. It's December.
Hell, I don't even remember this year.
No, me neither.
I don't remember this year.
I've always said, especially as you become an adult, like, yeah, time just keeps moving. Like, it feels like it's really quick.
Do you have any highlights?
2021, easily the fastest year I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, you have any highlights for this year?
There was the awesome time where we had the pandemic. There was the time the pandemic looked like it was getting better, and then it got worse. There was that one time we had the Delta variant, and then there's that awesome time we had the Omicron variant.
Black people are calling it Omarion,
I guess. Really just a whole lot of good news this year. I mean, school sucked. Honestly, Terrance, I don't want to start the show off on a down. If I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure in 5 years we're still going to be talking about this pandemic. Like, it's still going to be active. I mean, let's just look at the facts. Yeah. In less than 2 years, a virus was somehow created, right? It existed. It spread across the entire globe, everywhere. Millions and millions and millions of people have been infected and died, right? And in that time, it's mutated a bunch of times with severe, because Delta and the other one, those aren't the only strains of the variants. There's a bunch of them, but the Delta and the Omicron are two severe variants in less than 2 years. Even with the vaccine, nothing's real. I mean,
thing is getting it's getting worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are things going to get better in the next few months? Like, I don't like the vaccine's out there. I understand, like, not everyone's buying in, but we have I think it's like 80% of the adults in this country have it. It's a good quality number, man. And like, we're still just struggling. Like, I think this is the new normal, at least for several years. I mean, if in 10 years, if maybe we're done with it, maybe, but I genuinely don't believe in like 5 years, we're going to be like, man, that pandemic sucked. I think in 5 years, we're going to be like, can you believe it's been almost 7 years since the pandemic started, Terrance?
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a big issue for a long time. So continue to mask up for sure. Go get crazy, vaccinated, man, wash your hands.
Terrance, you know how people talk about
the stuff,
the Great Depression,
the good stuff.
You know the Great Depression, 1929, stock market crash, all that
shit.
Yeah. So that lasted for years. That lasted for like 7-8 years, like the Depression. It was a long time where like shit sucked, and it's somewhat in like we obviously had a massive recession while we became adults, so it's not like it's unheard of, but it's hard to imagine like life being such shit for such a long time. But that's, I think, where we're in. I think like 50 years, they might look back and go, man, how did you deal with this?
I mean, a lot of people
for 7 years.
A lot of people are talking about obviously inflation and a lot of things happening. And it's showing. Like, it's not like it's not showing. Like I drive. I know you don't drive. So looking at gas prices, I'm like, fuck. Like, this is like we're at $4 a gallon right now for some gas. Like this is getting crazy. The prices of even in the supermarket, everything's going up. This was a big deal that I think it was Dollar Tree announced that they're now going to be a minimum of $1.25 tree.
I mean, what? How is that even? That's
so,
ass.
So
They got to change the name. That's just false.
They got to rebrand their entire thing.
The $1.25 tree
because of inflation now.
Do you know what they call a Dollar Tree over in the UK?
What do they call it?
Pound shop.
Pound shop.
That sounds so much different. That's what it is.
I mean, look,
makes sense.
I like the go to the pound shop once in a while.
Go take turns. I think every once in a while you take a trip to Pound Town is what you do. One-way ticket.
That's what it's called, Pound Town.
Well, that's it. Never mind. But I think genuinely it's really sad. Like I said, I don't want to like start the show off with a huge downer, but I really do think we all need to brace ourselves for realistically. And I'm not a fucking what do I know, but I think in 5 years from now,
you're not Nostradamus.
I'm not Nostradamus, but I think in 5 years from now we're still going to be in this, and like I just think we're going to be wearing masks and testing and I don't know, because it's just what do we need to do to get a hold of this that we can possibly do? Like
I mean, it's happening. Also, another thing that's happening. You know what, Joe? Let's go into Black excellence because I got some shit I gotta get off my chest. Actually,
this is related to the pandemic.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So it's worth our patented Black excellence shout out of the week.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm
yeah. Black excellence can't stop, won't stop, never stop. Black excellence shout out of the week goes out to somebody that if you are a fan of the show, you know that me and Joe are just not big fans of this guy.
God,
we're just not. We're just not. All right. But by default,
if it is
for being a billionaire in the US and being black, by default, he gets a Black excellence shout out.
I want everyone to know on the record I disagree because he is not even close to excellent.
All right. Joe, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Just did.
No, you cannot. As a white person, I'm telling you cannot discredit Black excellence.
No. It's our show, and he's not Black excellence. I thought the shit.
He is still
you can
Black
shout him
excellence.
out, but he's not. He's absolutely not.
He is still Black excellence. I am not a fan of his.
All the people he did to get to where he is
I am
Black
not
excellence.
A fan
That's what you want
his.
people to do. You think that's good?
I am on record. You know I'm on record.
But then you
not being a fan of his.
But then you shouldn't
he
make
only
him.
Gets it by default for being a billionaire.
There shouldn't be any.
Being black.
Terrance,
and
there
being
shouldn't
in the
be
United States.
There shouldn't, but that
all right.
This is not our billionaire shout out of the week. It's our Black excellence shout out of the week. If
it is Black excellence in the this month, I've been doing billionaires.
No, it's December. It's not November anymore. Number one, but number
we
two,
are in November.
But number two, like that doesn't matter. Like the Black excellence is supposed to be
point on that one.
It's supposed to be for Black excellence. Just because he's a billionaire doesn't mean he's excellent. We went over this. He's exploited a ton of people.
Here's the thing as well, though, Joe. We do not have a lot of Black billionaires.
Okay,
this is a proven fact.
I would rather.
Yes, how he got it is a horrible. I hate it. I hate it. I've always said I've hated it.
Terrance, it's our show and it's our shout out. You can't just go
into it
because he's a Black billionaire and I happen to be doing Black billionaires. Then I'm gonna go
I choose the Black excellence.
Well, I can say, and I can disagree.
You can disagree all you want. I choose the Black excellence. I'm saying he still falls as Black excellence. All right. You can have that opinion. We're everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? This is probably the quickest Black excellence shout out.
Then why are we doing it?
I'm doing the Black excellence shout out to Tyler Perry.
But what I'm saying, can you answer me a question of why, if you don't even agree, why are we doing it? You make it seem like we're sponsored by somebody who makes us do this.
We're not sponsored by anybody. Tyler Perry doesn't give a shit, and I probably wouldn't even accept it if he did.
But my point is, like, you're making it seem like we're being forced to do it. Like we control it. You can absolutely go, I don't care that he's a billionaire. Like we do whoever.
Absolutely.
We want to.
I still feel as though he deserves a shout out just for being Black and being a billionaire. There's literally like less than 20 that exist in the world. So just because
make sure you step on people on your way to the top, everybody. That's how you get shouted out.
No, Tyler Perry's. I don't agree with Joe. You keep bringing up the same thing that we both agree to.
But
I'm telling you why I don't understand. Still gets a shout out.
But your logic makes no sense. You're saying we do Black excellence shout out every week to shout out people who we believe are excellent, and then you were doing a thing of like Black billionaires, but you're deciding, well, even for some reason, because he's a black billionaire, that supersedes
he's still,
the fact
that is still black excellence. How he got it is horrible, but it's still black excellence that he was able to get it.
How can
it's
you say
not
something,
easy to be a billionaire.
How can you say someone is excellent and horrible? Those things seem quite against
That's
each other.
The same thing as far as separating the art and the artist.
It's not, though, because you're saying someone's excellent and horrible.
R. Kelly makes excellent music. He's a horrible person.
But all right, let's just move on. You
give literally, a shout out.
Give
you just said that.
Give a shout out then, Terrance. I don't know what to tell you.
That's it. Black excellence, Tyler Perry, by default, billionaire. That's it. Now, outside of this guy, because he doesn't really matter, huge black excellence shout out goes out to Jay-Z. And if you're a fan of this show, you know that we're absolutely Jay fans, Jay stands, I think it's called, right? That's the new, like, if you're a major fan of somebody, Jay stands on this show. Sean Carter, December 4th, happy birthday, Jay. I don't have anything new that this guy has done because he's always doing something freaking new. But he's been at a lot of Nets games lately. And as somebody that used to be there from like the beginning, the last time they saw Jay-Z in Brooklyn Nets game was like the first season or something like that. Like, definitely hasn't been a big thing over there. But happy birthday, Hove. The real black excellence shout out. And that's it.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jay-Z. The pandemic, it's just like I said, man. I think
the pandemic is happening.
Hopefully I'm wrong, but we're 2 years in and we don't feel. It doesn't see. I mean, it right now we are in a worse position than where we were when the pandemic started. Like, when things seem like shit, we actually have more cases and deaths now than we did then, even though we have, 80% of the adults in the country are vaccinated. So it's like, well, so I don't know. It's just it just seems like it's gotten out of hand, and this is it.
And on top of that, right? Just kind of like on a more I guess basic level, and I guess I would say more street level. The streets is hungry. And what I mean by that is I'm seeing a lot of videos of people being robbed in broad daylight. Obviously, this mask thing is something that has to protect us, but it's also protecting criminals and thieves as well, right? They're walking around with masks on and robbing people right in front of their faces, right? It's been really on the rise, as well as the scammers. Now, me and Joe didn't talk about this pre-show, but Joe, if you take a look at your phone, I just text you something. Right?
Yeah, I did report this, by the way.
Right. I happen to be one of those people that I wasn't scammed. Like, how do I say it? Like,
someone took your identity.
Someone was impersonating me.
Yeah.
Right. They were impersonating me on Instagram and getting people to send them money to look at apartments and stuff. Now, how I found out about this is because literally someone called me, and I won't say her name, but she called me and she got on the phone and was irate. Like, she was, I can tell from literally when I answered the phone, and she goes, "Is this Terrance?" She says my last name and everything. And then she starts to tell me, "I need my money back. You said blah, blah." And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What? Hello. Hi. Who are you? What are you talking about? I have no idea what's going on right now. Then she starts to explain to me what's going on. She starts to explain to me that there's somebody on Instagram that's sending messages and saying that they have apartments for rent, and they're using my name and my company website and everything like that. Now, if you know anything about real estate, when you work in real estate and you're a licensed real estate agent, you're essentially an independent contractor. You work for yourself. You're associated with a company, but you work for yourself. So essentially, this person or whoever it is that's impersonating me took advantage of that, started putting up a lot of stuff and basically saying that they were a legit agent and working for people. And I'm sorry, working for themselves and looking for apartments with people and trying to help people and everything like that. This lady sent $150 to this person via Zelle, which is illegal, by the way.
What is illegal?
It's illegal to send money to a real estate agent that's not through a company. And what I mean by that is it can't directly go into the agent's account because that's called commingling.
Right.
It has to go into the company's account. So just off that, by the person requesting it via Zelle, should have been a red flag. But I understand that everybody hasn't worked with a real estate agent. Everybody doesn't know the rules of how to do the things. I think one of your friends were moving a couple of months ago and they were like suspicious of right, you know, so it's
I think
it's a lot of things, and the reason why we got here is because
one thing I want to interrupt real quick with this is that, so you sent me I guess this woman sent you this.
She sent me proof of this.
She was going fast, but there's like an insane amount of messages with this. But here's the thing. First off, if something looks too good to be true, it is. The apartments this guy was sending were like $5,000 a month apartments that he was sending. $1,600. So,
bro, $1,600 for a 2-bedroom in New York with a washer dryer.
This is what I want to say to people. There's a few things to remember. Number one, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. And I know that you've probably heard it before. I get it. I've been desperate for things before. And when something's like it's presented to you, it's hard for you to turn it down. But you have to really use your head and look past that, move past that part of your brain and try to get the logic part of your brain where it's like, is a $1,600 a month in New York City, even anywhere near New York City, you're probably going to get a studio at best, right? I mean, am I wrong? Studio, and the pictures and the pictures of this are like this gorgeous apartment, all utilities include, 1,600, 2-bed. And it's like, that's red flag number one. Number two, don't just trust someone you meet on the internet, even on the phone. Like, you really got to like verify who this person is before you start sending any money.
I said, did you ever get on the phone with this person? She's like, no, everything was done through Instagram direct message.
Here's the thing. Never do that. Oh, if you're at like a specific website for like and you know for a fact this is a real thing, fine. Don't use Instagram or Facebook or any of these things and as your only source. You need to be able to verify these people. Like,
I get it.
How do you know you're talking to? Like, how do you? If you reach out or someone reach out to you, like even if it's someone that's, like, how do you know it's legit? Always assume it's not that person, so you can really somehow verify it.
I get it. Everybody has a business now. Everybody has doing business on Instagram and Facebook.
Real estate,
like that.
Real estate isn't going to be like, you don't need an Instagram. If you're a real estate agent, you're not going to be using Instagram.
There are as your own,
maybe on the side.
Not as you're going to use it to promote. You're going to use it to promote your listings. You're going to use it to initiate business, but you're not going to use it. You're definitely not going to ask for money and tell a person that you're doing an application, things like that. And
this might seem like
I'm not blaming the person that was taken advantage of.
No, I'm just trying to like get information. To anyone listening.
Yeah, let's make that clear. This person was taken advantage of.
She was. I'm not knocking her. What I'm saying is, if how to prevent this, and like, this is a very cynical way of viewing it, but you need to always think in your mind: is there a possibility this person, whoever I'm engaging with, is trying to take advantage of me? And then you need to look at specifics, like if you're engaging with someone and you've no idea who they are, like if you walk into a real estate office, then you walk, presumably that's real, right? You should ideally know that. If someone is just online, always remember, like, it could be anybody. It could be someone trying to prank on you. It could be someone trying to take your money. Like,
and how can you verify? Do your research.
Like Terrance, if you look up Terrance, maybe you can find that he's this real thing, but you need to like verify in a more way than just, I have him on Instagram, let me send him money. Like, you always unfortunately be on edge on this.
And she told me that she Googled me, and obviously it came up that I'm a real licensed agent and everything like that. Like, so that might cause you to be like, okay, he's legit. When you actually Google me, which I hate. I don't understand how people like being on Google. Like, it bothers me. It makes me
can't
cringe.
Be off of it. I mean, it's just the way you're saying you want to be on the internet. I mean, that's what the Google is, just search the internet.
It makes me cringe that you can Google me and see, like, you can see that information, right?
I mean,
it's public information. It's public information. It's on the internet. It's there forever, right? So I understand how when she looked me up and it, looked legit. Okay, he's on a legit company website and everything.
Then you
like
call
that
what you call them up and you go, hey, I'm like I'm speaking to someone who's claiming to be Terrance together.
Or
I just
my
need to
phone
verify
number shows up as well. Like she should have done that first. Like,
That's
hey,
what I'm
I've
saying.
been talking to you on Instagram. I
This
just
is
wanted
what
to
I
give you a
mean.
call.
I think as a rule of thumb with these things, you need to try to verify people because, like I said, whether it's on the phone or it's on Instagram, whatever these things, you need to figure out a way to verify who these people are. Like if you go to visit a person and then they show you some apartments, like I would assume,
you need like a 5-step check process.
Yeah, you just need to be able to verify. Like if someone goes and shows you some apartments, I'm going to assume they're legit, unless there's someone breaking into these homes and showing them. Chances are they're legit. But if you just have one thing, like they one number or one thing, how do you know they're like it could be anybody? Like it's a sad way to live, but it's where we live.
I got to make this very clear because this is something that she brought up to me. You're never going to be charged to see an apartment, ever.
Yeah,
for
the only thing you be charged is to apply, right?
You get in New York State, you get an application fee, which is only $25. But
I hate that. I hate application fees shouldn't exist for anything.
Application fees shouldn't exist. But to view an apartment, right? And I'm pretty sure this is regardless of what state. I'm almost 100% sure this is regardless of any state. To view an apartment or to view a house or anything like that, to view, you will never be charged anything to view.
I don't. Yeah,
it is like window shopping.
Even if that is legal, don't do that. Don't pay to look at an apartment. It's insane.
Like window shopping, people. Even if they tell you it's refundable, it's not, because it's illegal.
Yeah, legitimately, like I said, unless you're, a multimillionaire and money means nothing to you, don't pay to do simple things like view something. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't take it sense. You could, like, even if it is legal, just don't do that.
Yeah. So I brought that up because, as we kind of went into this route because of the pandemic and everything like that. But people are desperate out here. There's no more money being given by the government. So the scammers and everything that were getting money and taking advantage of the government are now taking advantage of the people. Right. So these guys are getting desperate, or these people, I don't know, it could be male, female, doesn't even freaking matter.
Losers.
They're getting desperate. They're looking at you and what little you might have in your pocket. I felt horrible for this woman that called me and was crying over the phone, and it's like I wanted to help so bad, but I also needed to protect myself and my identity. And
it's not like you did anything wrong, to be fair.
No, of course not. But
you're also a victim in this. But...
Yeah, I'm a victim in this as well. But it was just so heartbreaking as me just being like a caring person that somebody used me out of all people. It's like I'm not that guy. Like, and now my name is associated with scamming somebody.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just drags your name through the mud, and
man. And it's like, regardless, what you have, the first thing you come into the world with, obviously the thing you leave this world with is your name, and what it stands and means. So that just kind of really, really bothered me. Like, this is my name. I think it's
I did report him, by the way.
Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that reported the page. The page is now down. Yeah, the page is now down.
It's just I think one of the things
everybody that reported it.
I think one of the things I hate most in this world is that there's so many people, so very many people who are just trying to make money any way other than a legitimate way. But it's any way, whether it's selling something illegal, taking someone's identity, all these constant things they're doing. And it's like, you put so much work into that, as opposed to just getting a job.
I was impressed. There was a slight part of me. That was impressed by the work that this person did
for $150.
Not only,
it wasn't even like a massive score.
Joe, not only to find a person, but here, let's really think about the mindset of this. You had to find me, right? You had to realize that I was actually a real estate agent. That's 2. You had to create a page. You had to create an Instagram.
And he put a bunch of pictures up.
You had to get a bunch of pictures posted and shit. Then you had to contact these people via DM. Not only that, he followed up, Joe. He followed up like he was a professional.
There was a ton of messages, though. Like, just the time it would take you just to do all those messages, you could have earned $150.
For $150. Look how much work he did for $150. I'm like, yo, there's a part of me that's impressed. And you know what I would have did? I would have reached out to me, the real person, and said, hey, Terrance, I can do this for you. I can manage a social media page for you. I can reach out to people, and then you go in, follow up, close the deal, and everything like that. I'll give you $150 for that.
That's what I mean. Like it just makes me sad. Like
I'll pay you $150 for that.
These types of things are just extremely common these days. Like it's everywhere you look, people are trying to scam somehow. Whether it's trying
that's
to
a whole business,
lie and make money from
business
from the government, or you steal someone's Instagram thing, or call this. And it's like it just makes me so sad. Cause it's like, why can't, like, come on, man.
It's a legit business.
Just get a job. It's like,
no, you know what it is, Joe? It's the impatience. It's the instant gratification.
Look, is that instant that's patience? The guy took forever to get that done. I mean, that doesn't.
It's a lot. I think for him, he was looking at it like, you know what? I'd rather do this, make $150, do it to somebody else, make $100, keep making $150, than go out and actually create a legit business and possibly work for. I think it's who is it? I think it's Gary V, who speaks about working for free for a certain amount of time. I'm a strong believer in that. I think you are too, because essentially that's what we're doing right now. We do not get paid off of this podcast. This equipment and stuff, me and Joe bought this all ourselves. We invested into ourselves.
Why we're not shouting any of them out, because
to basically just say that, you know what, this is something that we believe in. This is something that we're gonna work on.
We have fun doing it.
And yeah, we'll have it. That's another thing too.
I mean,
y'all not having fun doing the things that y'all want to do.
Millions of people, you know, so that's its own reward.
Internationally known and locally respected.
By the way, Germany, we have our most sizable audience outside of America is Germany. So
really?
Yeah, I haven't talked to you about
Germany.
This. Germany apparently is somewhat in. I don't know, not one person or a few, but Germany's hit big. So if you're from Germany listening, hit us out. Reach out to us.
Shout out to Germany.
I don't know much about Germany, but
I was about to say I don't know what's big out there.
What is it? Oktoberfest that's in Germany?
Oh, the beer, right?
I hear Berlin is gorgeous. Berlin's in Germany, right?
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
Berlin, Germany. Berlin.
Yeah, shout out to Germany. Like we always say, internationally known, locally respected. So
literally, Terrance, we have factual evidence that we are actually internationally known.
Yeah, man.
That's not just, we don't just say that. It's true.
No, absolutely. It's facts.
But I think the point of all this, though, is you gotta. Unfortunately, you have to live with a mindset these days that people are trying to scam in some capacity, and you need to just try to verify these types of things. Like a lot of times, you're not going to, this isn't going to happen to you, but it's probably going to happen to you at some point. So you have to you just have to pay attention. If things look too good to be true, if things seem off, if they're, there probably are. And then try to verify certain, before you send any sort of money or anything like that, always try to verify these things. Don't just go.
All y'all scammers need to get together and just make
a business.
Make a business or do some shit like Mr. Robot. Take down a conglomerate or some shit.
Take down
y'all
bad organizations in this world.
So smart. These hackers and scammers are so
go after
smart.
The pharmaceutical companies and change their prices to super cheap. That'd be a huge win.
Oh man, did you see that Hulu show? The one when they were talking about the beginning of OxyContin with that company?
There's too many shows now. I can't keep track of all of them, Terrance.
That I've been hearing really good things about that. I don't know. I don't remember the name about it. But apparently it's
there's
the start.
400 shows every week now. I don't know.
Yeah, the company knew that Oxy was addictive, and obviously they said that it wasn't. I think
there was just a recent lawsuit that finally, I can't remember, someone in Cleveland, I think it was, something like that, Ohio, they actually said that the pharmacies and drug companies were held responsible for this stuff, which is they've never done. All these people getting addicted to opiates and all this shit, they've never been able to actually pin it on them. But some judge finally rolled this massive $1 million case. It's on you guys.
It's getting crazy.
Anyway, Terrance, let's get back to the show. Let's try to talk about something I think a bit more. Let's talk about something ridiculous, Terrance. Let me hit you with a question. When do you eat a banana? When you look at a banana, when do you go, that's the time to eat this banana?
I only eat bananas and smoothies.
You what?
Only eat bananas and smoothies.
You don't eat bananas and just.
I only eat it in smoothies.
Why?
Because I can't take the I don't know. It's something about it that makes me feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Just take a bite out of it. What do you not put the whole thing in your mouth?
No.
Down your throat.
The aftertaste. That's what it is.
In a smoothie.
Not in a smoothie because it's mixed up with other things.
That's really weird. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I can't. Trust me. It's been going on for years. Like obviously bananas got protein, potassium in it. It's good for you.
Bananas are delicious. I mean,
it's good for you. It's good for you. And then I can't eat a regular banana. Like it has to go into a smoothie. That's otherwise, really like I take a bite, the aftertaste make me feel like I gotta throw up, and then I got a weak stomach all day.
It's really strange.
Weak stomach.
Terrance, something. So speaking of like scams and everything, I want to tell you something that happened. I don't think it's a scam, but it's kind of weird.
You got scammed?
I don't know, but
damn, they got my bro.
No, I didn't get scammed. Not yet. I got this letter in the mail, and you ever get like I don't know how much junk mail you get, like physical mail, and it says like physical. Just resident, or like. They don't say like your name, but they have your address. They're like just sending it out to like people
or it say like or current resident.
Yeah. It said current resident, didn't even say or. And I opened it up and a $2 bill came out. And at first I thought, I don't know if again with junk mail, you ever see like sometimes 20? A 2.
Oh. I
don't know how often you see like sometimes there'll be like something that looks like money just to get your attention. If you ever seen that, or like the corner, I've seen sometimes like of a thing will have like money, but when you open it up, it's not real money to get your attention.
Right.
So and I was like, what the fuck? And I was reading it, and it was like, oh, we're looking for people in the Heights who are Hispanic of some way. Like we're trying to get like a mental health service study, blah blah blah. Come in, we'll give you like $50 for a survey if you come in for this. And they're like, enclosed, we've enclosed a $2 bill for you to keep as a gesture of just like kindness. I was like, what? And I was looking at it, I was like, is this real? And I went through it and I was like, yeah, this is a real, like, me and you worked in retail, we know how to tell. And I'm like, this is a real $2 bill. What a weird, is that not weird?
Somebody just sent you a $2 bill.
But like, they not just me, like they're sending to people in the area, like to be nice, I guess. But like, if you go in, I'm not Hispanic, so I can't go in for the survey. Yeah. But it was like, it's not weird to just include like,
it's a dope marketing play.
I mean, I guess in theory, if I could have, I might have gone in for this. I guess maybe it's like a good faith thing. Like, well, they have money, but I was like, I have this $2 bill, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, what do you do? I mean, you could spend it.
I think you save a $2 bill, right?
They're not really worth.
You just hold on to it.
It's not really worth anything. Like people think.
Did they stop making those?
No, that's what everyone thinks, but they do make them. They just make very small amount. Like this right here is from 2017. So it's not like. Okay. Right. Like everyone thinks that they are rare, but they're not. People keep thinking they stopped making them, but they just make very little. I don't know why it exists at all. But for a second there, I was like, am I being scammed? But I was like, unless this has like a tracking device on it somehow.
Right. Like what's the danger right here?
Do we have like a microorganisms or not microorganisms? What are those things? Like nanites, like extremely small. They're on there listening to this whole conversation. What if it just blew up because I've been talking about it now? Like, oh, he's on to us.
Money bad.
It's weird. All right, Terrance, let me ask you a question. If you could live, what would be like your paradise? Where if you could live, obviously not counting like your job and all that stuff, but like what type of place would you want to live? Like whether it's like the mountains or like the Caribbean beach, or whether
Caribbean's by the beach. I want beach. I want
like you want to live right on the beach, basically like a house, like right down the fucking.
No, not feet. On the beach, but probably like a mile away. I would say
just easy ride there.
Yeah, or I can walk there or something. Not too far from the beach, but
so completely like tropical Caribbean. Yeah. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean, Terrance? What's the answer to this? While we're on the subject.
I'm from the Caribbean, so Caribbean.
So the Caribbean, what's that? It's just what white people say.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think so. I just know it as Caribbean.
You know how like I think it's mostly Mexican, but they use gringo for like white people. Is there a term like that for like the Caribbean? Like, do you guys have like a term for white people?
Yeah,
like
Yankee.
That's not that's
Yankee is but it's like American, but it's also more white too.
I was hoping there'd be something cool. Like Yankees a little bit obvious. I'm not.
Yeah,
the Yankees.
Yankee.
So if you could ideally pick a perfect place, you'd be like the Caribbean, just beautiful ocean right next to the water. Not right
I gotta do the Caribbean.
So okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you think let's say you somehow got that, I don't know how, right? You become fucking a multimillionaire on your own, blah blah, you just move to a nice secluded place like that. Do you think like eventually you would get like this is kind of I don't really care about this anymore. Because obviously, I think we talked about this a while back. Like the human mind, like regardless of how amazing something is, whether it's a new wife or a new thing, like you it eventually becomes somewhat normal to you. But at the same time,
inevitable.
Like, and it is. It's just the way the human brain works. But at the same time, like if you lived in a slum and then you lived in somewhere much nicer, you're never going to go, well, this is boring. You're going to go, well, it's still great. I live here, as opposed, like, you know, or also like, let's say you live, I don't know, you live in the woods, like a wood, and you don't like that, and you move to the Caribbean, you might enjoy it more. My question is, do you think like you'd get bored? Like it would just, it wouldn't be amazing anymore. Eventually you'd be like, you know, what's amazing? The mountains, you know, like you think you'd eventually change, or do you think you'd still love it always? It would just be maybe not as exciting.
I can't really say, but I just know that after doing anything for too long, it becomes a little stale.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people who move to whatever they find as like their kind of paradise, and they're just happy.
Tranquility, you know, like that. You
like
know,
wherever that is to you,
peace.
Everyone has their own. I'm not gonna, you know, nothing's right or wrong. Yeah. But I do wonder, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't like living in Florida.
If I found my peace, that's my peace, right? Like, I can't necessarily say it's boring because it's not there to. It's not for excitement. It's for
not boring. I guess. Do you think you'd eventually then look at something else as paradise?
I don't think so.
You think you'd go, this is what I love, and even if obviously you still want to go visit other places and climates and everything, that is still your like nirvana, right? Your peace where you're like, you come that's back, where I want to
go. Yeah. I think that'll be it. Like that's my bat cave.
Yeah, I think I would too, man. If I had to pick one place, I don't know. I'd want to live somewhere cold, like opposite of you with the Caribbean. I would want to live somewhere more cold, like colder, like somewhere almost mountainy. Like the mountains look great. Like if you're on a mountain or you're viewing mountains, it looks amazing. So that would always be something I would want to live by. But
going to Minnesota?
No, it would be if I had an ideal location, it probably wouldn't be in America. It'd probably be in like fucking. Actually, you know what would be maybe amazing is, so you know, like the Swiss Alps, like they're famous.
Swiss Alps.
They actually are.
See the what's the thing in the sky? The
what, the Northern Lights?
Northern Lights. That's not over in Swiss Alps.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But I could be wrong. I don't actually know. But the Swiss Alps, which is like famous, they also that whole what everyone loves also is in Italy, because the Italy borders Switzerland, if I believe. So I think in northern Italy, you still get all that same, like the Swiss Alps thing. It's just the Alps, just in Italy. I don't know what they're called, but that's what, like, maybe that would be perfect. I could live in that area. Is beautiful. I mean, Italy is famous for being absurdly gorgeous. And now I was thinking about this when I was watching Tenet, which we talked about pre-show. In Tenet, you know, when they're like on the, like that boat towards the end, and like they're not this coastal, and you see like all those like beautiful houses on the mountain and everything.
Yeah.
Like that looks amazing, and that's obviously much more like warm. But like that, Italy's so beautiful. How cool would it be to have like a place in like the mountains or something like that? Like in that area, dope. You know, you could take like a trip every once in a while, like more south to like.
I do gotta visit Italy one time.
Dude, I was literally planning on doing it before this pandemic happened. I was like really close to have it happening, and
going to Italy.
Yeah, I was. I really was. I was with an ex I had, and then even just with my dad, because my dad's Italian. He's from Italy. He hasn't been back since the 70s.
That's right. You haven't been.
My dad hasn't been back since he moved. Yeah, in the 70s, in the early 70s.
No, have you?
I've never been. No.
You've never been. Like, you got to go back to your hometown.
How cool would it be? My dad obviously speaks Italian fluently. It's his first language. How cool would it be if me and him went out there, spent like a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it is, and like you do like
a dope trip.
Yeah, it's me and him. That's what I'm saying. Like me and him just
Italian
going, like,
kid
obviously
never been home.
Yeah,
going back.
You know, something like that. But like he obviously can speak Italian and get it. You know, like get us where he needs. I mean, I don't know if he can read it especially well. He hasn't really done that, but you know, he can still like speak it perfectly, and he could get around, and we could just go around and you know, you take like 2 weeks, you could just make all like the biggest stops, like go to fucking Sicily. He's from Sicily, so go to Sicily, and then like you have Rome and Venice, and there's all these like, you know, Florence, all these great places to go. Like how cool would that be just to drive on this crazy Italian journey, man?
Yeah, you gotta make that happen, man.
Listen, my dad's getting older, so I would like to do it. But talk about if the pandemic doesn't end in 5, 6, 7 years, I mean, my dad will be an old man by then.
You can still make it happen.
It's definitely like, I don't want to say it's a bucket list thing, but maybe it kind of is. And I don't have for
your pops in his 60s.
He's almost 60. He's
almost 60.
59, I think. 59, yeah, 59.
Oh, nice.
We'll see, man. He'll be 70 by the time this pandemic ends.
That's crazy. Yo, you know what I've been watching lately? And I don't know why, but it's kind of like has me hooked now. These little dating shows, like I brought it up.
What kind of dating shows?
Like the dating shows where
that show?
I remember Next.
My favorite is when they open door to the bus. The person's like, next. They don't even like walk off the bus.
Yo,
that's soul cry. That'd be
it's
me.
It's okay to be shallow, people. Don't make somebody make you feel bad for being shallow.
That would happen to me. It would be like I'd walk out like all excited. Next. Like, oh.
Yo, so that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, would you do one of those things? Because I've been watching one. It's called 12 Dates at Christmas, right? And it's basically,
I can't believe this is what you're watching. But
bro, listen, I put it on in the background so I could work when I'm working in the crib or whatever, just to have like background noise or whatever.
Is paying close attention,
bro. But I be into it. I know. But there's this thing called 12 Days of Christmas. Basically, the concept is to find a date to bring home for Christmas, right? So they
just randomly, or they give you
random. They throw random women at you, and you gotta select one that you feel like you would be able to bring home for Christmas to your family.
100%.
Right? It sounds crazy to me. I'm watching it, and I'm like, obviously, I don't know. But it's hilarious. I'm like,
I'm single, so I'm
that.
single. Why wouldn't I? Like, what do I have to lose? I mean, if I am sitting there and I get beautiful women brought to me, like, and I could see who I like the best, like, why wouldn't I? I would try that out. Like, chances are nothing would. But
you don't think it's an overload of options? What if how many if you start falling? They give you like 6 or 7.
That's not over. I mean, listen.
What if you start falling for one?
Then hopefully she falls for you back, bro. I mean.
You see, but those are risks, though.
But more often than not, those shows, nothing ever ends happily ever after. Like most people they don't become a thing because you're meeting them for like probably 10 minutes.
And the people, one of the couples actually got married. One guy wanted to bring in nobody home, and the one couple like separated after.
Well, I mean. Listen, but what I'm saying is like, let's say I met someone, we liked each other, we go back home, or not home for me, but I guess back to see my family. And it, maybe it turned out to be a fling or it's whatever. Like worst case scenario, you still got a cool story. You still had maybe a good relationship, even if it was brief.
Like you're headed home for this Christmas. You're headed home for this Christmas.
Yeah, hopefully none of my family listen to this show. But yeah,
imagine just bringing a random chick.
Do they not know ahead of time?
They don't know ahead of time. They don't know who the person is.
You didn't. That's a wrinkle.
They don't know who the person is. They don't know ahead of time. They just know that you're coming. You're bringing this random person.
So they know when I'm coming home.
How you met and when you met, you're just like, oh, a couple of weeks ago.
So they know I'm coming to visit, but they don't know I'm bringing somebody. They just think I'm showing up.
Right.
I would still probably do it. My family is fairly accommodating, and I'm not like I don't think they'd be upset necessarily. But I mean, obviously then they see camera crew and everything, and they're like, what's happening? They obviously would know at that point.
Met 6 weeks ago.
And I can't say it's for the show that's clearly being filmed.
Right. No, can't say that.
That doesn't make any sense. That's weird.
You got to say, like, I met this girl 6 weeks ago and I'm madly in love now. And that's why I brought her home to visit, to see everybody, to meet everybody.
What is the goal of the show?
The goal of the show is to bring somebody home for Christmas and potentially find love. What I'm saying is
when they go back, how much of the show is them at home with their family? Is that like the very, very end, or?
That's at the end.
So the whole show is about just them dating and seeing who's the right one. I would definitely do that because I feel like at the end of the day, you at least get a cool story. You're probably, ideally, maybe you at least have some kind of relationship, even if it's maybe like I said for a few months or whatever. That's still cool. You can still there's still pleasure and happiness you can get out of that. And yeah, maybe just like any person you meet, maybe it will turn out to be the one, or chances are it probably won't, but it's still cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
If you met Corey that way, you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I met her on a fucking TV show and they'd be like, what? And then you tell this whole great story, to like a party you're at.
Listen, I went out to, we had a work event a couple of weeks ago, and I went out to a work event, me and Corey, and bro, I didn't realize that people meeting on apps and like being together from meeting on an app.
Terrance,
that's a big thing right now. And it's super common.
People our age and like a few year younger and everything. Well, I guess people obviously even younger. I would say probably half at that point are doing that, especially with this pandemic, dude. I mean, I've been thinking about getting online because I'm sitting on my ass all day alone. Like, yeah.
Bro, that's a big thing. I met a couple. They got married. There's nothing
wrong with that. I mean, it's just a different. It's just
I think it's
different.
Me.
And to me, it's what's the difference between that and being someone at a bar? Like there's just an opportunity to meet somebody. What happens once you meet and you start talking is just like any other relationship ever.
I think for me, because obviously when we grew up, it was more so about you gotta talk to the girl, right? Like you gotta see her randomly, talk to her randomly,
It's and you know what it is? The only thing it's changed is the approach. Because once you start talking, it's the same. Whether you're texting, talking in person, it's always you're just talking to someone and trying to flirt. It's the difference is if I'm at a bar, I got to go. Which again, this is how you know Terrance is full of lies. Everybody listening, if you recall on the show much earlier, like early in January, February, Terrance promised me October we'd go out, we would try. Terrance would wingman me and give some pickup lines, and we would see if it worked.
Also,
still hasn't happened. Also, Terrance's life is built on lies. Everybody,
it's not true.
He is.
Don't start that lie.
I mean that's. I mean,
you're starting a lie saying that
Terrance,
life is built on lies.
But people listening know that it happened. They also know that we're gonna go see a Nets game. Well, it's December and still haven't seen a Nets game. Still haven't.
Joe is like that kid that doesn't forget anything you said.
But forget it. We talked about it like in October. It was not that long ago. We were like, you said, it's a fact. We're definitely gonna go. It's happening.
I did say that's a fact. We're gonna go.
When?
I did say that.
This Friday, Terrance. Let's do it this Friday.
This Friday coming? What's this Friday?
I have no idea, but the Nets are probably playing this Friday or this Saturday.
I know Thursday I got something going on.
So here's where it comes, everybody. This is what Terrance does.
Yeah, the 9th.
On Friday they play the Hawks. Nope, they're in Atlanta. That doesn't work. Terrance.
Yeah, we'll talk off mic.
Saturday the 18th, they play the Magic. See, he's warming his way out of it. You hear this?
No, not at all.
What are we talking about, Terrance?
Like how regular it is.
The only difference is you actually if I was at a bar, I got to go up to a woman, I got to get my courage and go up to a woman and try to have a conversation with her. Whereas in an app, there's less pressure because depending on how it works, like the odds, you don't have to there's no responding. Like if someone maybe reaches out or however it works, you can decide if you want to reach back out. So at that point, once both people meet, you kind of gotten through that point, and then you start talking like you would any other time.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Let's say you were out somewhere random and you asked a girl for her number and you didn't really talk to her much. What would you do from there? You start texting her, wouldn't you, and try to get to know her?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look,
so that's it's gonna happen. I think
the shock. I can't really say shock, but I think the more surprise comes in the people that actually work, right? Like they met on the app. I think they got together and they're actually in a 3-year relationship.
Yeah, I really don't think it's.
I think that's where
I think when
wow, this thing actually works.
I think when you really think about though, what's the difference? It's just two people meeting, and I think the odds of it working are just as likely as if you met at a park or something. It's just two random people who are attracted to each other and maybe they're compatible.
No, true.
Let me ask you a question. If you met Corey online, or maybe some fictional girl with Corey doesn't exist, I don't know. Would you lie about it if someone asked you oh no, we actually met at Starbucks, or would you go no?
I think that's pretty dope. I think that's pretty dope.
I have nothing against it. I think online dating is just as normal as anything. I think people think of online dating as like Tinder. You just want to bang someone. But for the most part, most online dating, you're just trying to get to know someone because you want to meet someone. I've been thinking about it. I don't know what app I would use, but we'll see.
And try it out.
I mean, it's not like I'm ever going to be able to go in school. I'm sure they're going to cancel classes in person next semester because of this new variant. So.
Yeah, I think something's coming down the pipe within the next couple of months.
But my problem is this is what I mean with it's here to stay. We need to just move on. We need to just focus on trying to there's no point in canceling classes and all this shit. We just need to power through because it's not going to change anything. You need to get vaccinated. You need to wear your mask. But outside of that, we got to keep on living our lives. Yeah, but
see, the thing about that though, Joe,
is matter.
Somebody has an outbreak, and then they're shutting classes down for a couple of days.
But what I'm saying is we shouldn't be doing that. We're past that point.
Yeah, but you can't say that when you got kids in school too, bro.
No, what I'm saying is, like, let's say someone in I'm in a class and we're all in person. One person turns out gets COVID. Well, then we all should be tested, right? And then that person who has positive, they have to quarantine. They can't come back until they're good. Everyone gets tested, and if we're good, we move on. Because like I think we're past the point of being like shutting everything down. We need to just power through. Like in the NBA, if you test positive, there are rules. You need to quarantine. If you can get like 2 negative tests in 24 hours, you
Hold
go
on
back.
Hold on real quick, bro. Let me answer this phone call. I don't know what this is. Hold on. Damn, my number hasn't changed in over a decade.
Yeah, I've had mine for 17 years now.
17 years?
Who was that? Yeah, I've had mine before.
It was a guy I met in 2012.
He's so randomly called you?
He called and he's like, "Is this Upstage Entertainment?"
Wow.
And I'm like, "Yeah, obviously, you know, if you know on the show, Upstage Entertainment is the music side of things that I do. Shout out to Cecil, stream his music now. But he called me, he's like, "Hey, is this Upstage Entertainment?" I'm like, "Yeah, who's this?" He's like, "You probably don't remember me, you know, but we met in 2012 where I came to the studio." And I'm like, "No, I don't." One, it's a studio. You meet a bunch of people. Two, you're talking about almost 10 years ago.
That's great. I do not have the balls to call someone who I haven't spoken to in a few months, much less 10 years almost.
10 years, right?
I feel like I gotta text them first. Like calling someone, who knows if it's their number, what they're doing. Like I feel like it's way.
Yeah, I look at the
someone
number.
Is too personal. Do you feel that way? Like calling someone is very personal. You need to know if you should call them or not.
Calling somebody means serious business. That's why I feel
like
you're right.
It's either serious or it's personal. Yeah, like
it's serious.
Like if your mom calls you, it's your mom. You can talk. Corey
I do that now. I do that literally. My mother will text me. She'll text me. But when she calls, I'll answer the phone like, "Hey, everything okay?" Like that's literally like my first response.
I would only do that with certain, like my mom calls me. I assume she's just calling me. Like she always, if I call her on a non-weekend, she'll do what you do. She'll be like, "Is everything okay?" Like she just assumes something's wrong. But if I call her on the weekend, she knows like I'm just calling to talk.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like at work. Yeah, you're right. Because when I'm at work or like if it's a work day or something, and she calls me, I'm like, you know, like I'm working. Like I know you know. Like normally you text me. So like
that's the
just
thing.
Want to make sure everything all right.
But like Jerry, who's a big friend of the show. Me and
friend
her
of the show.
like huge friend. She's only ever person who hosted the show.
I was about to say the only
us.
other person to be a co-host.
That's how much you love her. But even me and her every once in a while talk on the phone. But even her, I feel like me and her are very close. I even feel like I can't just call her. Like I could, but I feel like I want to know if she's good to talk. I don't want to call her if she's busy or whatever. Yeah. I feel like
yo, you free?
Yeah,
But the crazy thing is, FaceTime is not looked at as that personal.
I think that is 10 times more personal, and people who don't think that are weirdos.
I think people are more likely to do a FaceTime call than an actual like
what
voice
I don't
call.
Understand is people who FaceTime in a time when they can't look at their phone, and so they're just they're holding it to their ear. Like just talk on the phone.
Or
what are you
walking.
Doing? But just, listen, if you're gonna FaceTime, you should be like free to look into the camera and like there's a reason for it. Like, don't FaceTime me if you're on the train or you're walking. Like, what's the point? We're not really looking at each other. Just talk on the phone. What's the benefit
of FaceTime me at all?
I mean, I agree. There's very few people I wanted. Like, Jerry actually had me and her FaceTime a couple times. Like past girlfriends, I've done that too. Or like, if there's a reason, I'll FaceTime. But generally, like,
there's very few people that I'll answer FaceTime for outside of my family. Like, there's very if you call FaceTime me, I'm like, all right, cool, it's Joe. Like, you know, I don't really like it. You know, like that's my boy.
I would do it.
You know, like there's a couple Mariella I'll answer FaceTime. Like there's a very few selected people outside of my family that I'm gonna. Otherwise, I'm gonna look at that shit and be like, and I'm gonna text you like, yo,
text me
why you FaceTime me?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, like that. 100%. If my family would probably never really FaceTime, but if they did, I'd be fine with it. But yeah, outside of that, like you, Jerry, a few people, I'd be like cool with. Other than that, I'd be like, who the fuck's FaceTime? You know, like what? Like that's weird, right? Like we actually, I don't want to say who it was, but we had someone we were gonna get on the show. Didn't she FaceTime both of us? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it was so we were like, it's random. Yeah. Okay. But we just
I think I was walking back from the Chinese restaurant and I'm like,
I think we texted her to get in a group like me. I texted both of us like group chat, and she called us and it was like, well, text, and it was like a FaceTime. We were like,
yeah, what? Don't do no. It's not no three-way.
It's also a weird. Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. Yeah, I agree though. I think FaceTime and calling is more personal these days. Like if you just text someone, if you really talk to them, like unless there's something like you really need to talk to on the phone about, just text me. Like I don't, I'll call you if I need like really talk. I don't want to text at all, but outside of that, like it's fine.
Bro, I'll follow up. I'm probably the most delayed texter to ever exist, but I will follow up.
This week, by the way, if everyone listening, I texted Terrance like 5 times in a row with no response over the course of like 2 days until I was like, "Yo, you good?" I want to know, like, was he in a car accident? Like, what happened?
You definitely did. I think I replied back at like 5 a.m. though.
I can't believe you didn't respond to that picture I sent you.
I replied back by 5 a.m. The picture, I think I saw the picture. You got to remember, I get up at 5 a.m. So I'm immediately checking my messages. And I think when I saw that picture, I was just like annoyed.
I thought that I wanted to know what emotions. For those of you who don't know, the picture I sent him, in quotes, it says, "No one man should have all that power," and then below it says Pac, and in the back is
it's a picture of Jay.
I wanted to know what your reaction is. I literally said, like, how does this make you feel?
I think I was annoyed. I think I was annoyed by
that's
it.
The answer.
Yeah, because it was just like
so many things wrong in one.
Well, yeah, it was more like that was the initial thought. Like I'm just annoyed by this,
but then I had to just get ready for work. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's fine. Anyway, gone off the rails here, Terrance.
I gotta start replying with voice notes.
You can do that, yeah. I'm annoyed. That's all I hear.
Yeah, I gotta start doing that rather than texting.
Are you high? What? No, I'm not high.
You are high as a fucking kite.
Ever think how weird eyebrows are?
What?
Eyebrows, like. If you look at someone's like we have hair all over our bodies, obviously, but we have hair on our head. Everyone has, essentially has hair on their head for the most part if you just shave it, but everyone grows hair on their head. But then on their face, like everyone has hair on their face, men obviously much thicker than women, but we have these weird just lines of hair right above our eyes. And you ever think of how mad that looks? So now you're trying to
think about like what do eyebrows do for us?
I know what they do. There's a function to them. I understand that.
Wait, what do they do? I don't know.
So evolutionary, they believe we developed that. It's for sweat. Like when you sweat, instead of going directly in your eyes, the reason the eyebrow like curls to the side is because it goes down and makes the sweat kind of go. It doesn't work perfectly, but it goes down the side of your face rather than because if you didn't have eyebrows, dude, your sweat would just be pouring into your eyes 100% of the time.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
But like, if you ever think about someone's like, obviously people would look weird if they didn't have eyebrows, but think how weird they look. They're just it's literally a strip of hair, just like. And here's another thing to think about, Terrance. When you were 5 years old compared to now, the hair everywhere on your body has grown, except for your fucking eyebrows. Your eyebrows, the hair is like identical.
That's not true.
But is it not?
Eyebrows grow,
but not really. When was you trim your eyebrows, Terrance?
No, of course not.
Okay, why is that? But every other hair,
definitely
the hair. What I'm saying, the hair on your ass, the hair on your head, your beard, your chest, those things grow at a constant rate. The eyebrow, like I'm not saying you don't have to maybe eventually trim it in some capacity, but I've never shaved anything in my eyebrows, and they're identical. Not identical, but they're not. Why are they not growing out of hand?
I think at one point when I was like, I think in junior high school or high school, I did the 3 stripes in the eyebrows trying to wild out.
Oh, where were you? Oh my God. I love that so much, Terrance.
I think I did.
What a badass. But you ever think it's like we have a strip of hair. Everyone has it. Just on their eyes, just above their eyes.
No, I never thought about how weird it was actually.
Think about it now.
Never.
Think about it right now, Terrance. Look at someone. Imagine Corey's face, and it's his perfect face. I'm sure to you, it's just these fucking hair on her above her eyes. Like it's so weird to think about. I mean, like, and this is everyone on the planet.
You're beautiful. What is that?
The music breaks in.
What is that?
But it's just weird. Like I don't know. Like I know it's just. I think we've obviously grown used to it. And if you saw someone without eyebrows, that would be the first thing you noticed about them. But it is strange when you think about someone's face. Like obviously, like I said, men grow thicker hair than women on their face, but that is all like separate. You have these weird things above your eyes, it's below your hair and not near any other hair source, but these thick beings just stay above your eyes all the time.
Nuts. No, I never thought about how crazy it is.
It is crazy though. Now that you're thinking about it, you're like, it's a little weird, isn't it?
You know.
I mean, if you imagine if you had
eyebrows.
an eyebrow above the eyebrow, that would look mad, wouldn't it? But only because you know what I'm saying? Like it's. What if your hairline came down to your eyes?
That would be sick.
And it
That's
attaches.
Sick. That's sick. Like, and when you go to the barbershop, they got to separate your eyebrows and your hairline.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another thing. You don't grow hair on your forehead, Terrance. You know what I'm saying? Like your forehead stays hairless, essentially. Where I'm sure there's like some micro hairs, but you don't have to do anything with there. But you have these, you know what I'm saying? It's so mad the way it actually exists. And it's just, again, because everyone, we all accept it. It's not like, it's like fingernails. Obviously, we accept fingernails, but it's just a weird thing that exists. I understand why. I just think it's mad. All right, Terrance. Well, this show has been a loosey-goosey show that I don't think we talked about anything worth mentioning, really.
I love when we have shows like this.
Yeah, they're never planned, but they're
it's so up and down.
I love it. Some we got some reviews. Apparently, this show could be boring sometimes. So I hope this is more entertaining for you.
Yeah.
One person said that.
Are you not entertained?
Exactly. But of course, Terrance, we end every show with a hypothetical.
What you got?
Terrance, if
tree fell in the woods.
If a tree fell in the woods and you weren't around to hear it, no. Terrance, if let's say a zombie outbreak happened, right?
Oh man. Oh, by the way, now that you mentioned that, Train to Busan, I think it's called.
That's like Korea's first fucking
zombie film, I think, right? I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Is it Korean? It's Korean, right?
I think it's Korean.
What I find baffling is that their film, it's crazy when you think about like most film industries in this world are not anywhere in the realm of the American film industry. It's crazy. Like there's a ton of Korean films. That's the first zombie one they've made. Are you kidding me?
That was crazy. The Train to Busan movie. Train to Busan. I recommend everybody watching that. Like,
do you watch these things subbed or dubbed?
I gotta watch it sub.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm always unsure about. Not watch. I gotta read the subtitles. I cannot watch anything dubbed.
I kind of agree. The voice always sounds like shit. Yeah, so like in Squid Game, when I saw the trailer, I was like, I don't know if I like this dubbing. It always just comes off as not good. Anyway, Terrance, let's say you were a zombie outbreak, right? And you're single and you have no kids and you're alone in this whole situation and you never had them, right? So you're going through and you get bit. And you kill a zombie, but you're going to turn, right? Do you, in this situation, go, well, I guess that's it for me. I'm going to turn into a zombie. Or do you just go, no, I don't want to become a zombie. I'm ending it first. Before I turn, I'm ending it.
Nah, I want to be a zombie.
You want to be?
Yeah, I'll just let it happen.
I mean, obviously you wouldn't be in control.
Exactly.
You don't really know what would happen if you were a zombie, I guess, but you'll be eating other people. Are you fine with that?
But I also don't know what will happen depending on how I kill myself, right? Like if I slit my throat, I might still turn into a zombie anyway.
Okay, but no. I mean, in this case, you have to, if you kill yourself, then you don't come back as a zombie.
No, just let it happen.
Really? So you'd be fine that what if you turns out that after you become a zombie, you get a kid, you eat a kid. You'd be happy with that thing? It's a possibility.
I don't know what's happening. I'm
but if you would have ended it all, then you never would have killed that kid. Maybe that kid would have gotten away.
Well, maybe I'm not killing a kid. Maybe I'm just creating a zombie family now. You just said I didn't have any kids, right?
No,
I didn't have any kids. I didn't have any family. Maybe now I get a chance to have a zombie kid. You think it's good
to steal a little white baby because you want one and turn it into a zombie?
Oh, I'm definitely biting a little white baby.
So is it about a family or now it's revenge? I don't know what's going on.
That's happening. All right.
Terrance,
I'm letting this be known live.
If you see zombie Terrance coming at
we turn
and you're white, he's coming after you.
Definitely biting little white kids.
Terrance, maybe this is the movie Racist Zombies. This is what we do. we maybe this is a movie we write where like the zombie outbreak happens, but the people who get bitten are like they go after like whatever race they hate the most.
There you go.
So like you walk into like I don't know, you're walking down like Alabama, and I'm like, Terrance, we can't go through Alabama. You'll never make it. They'll all come after you. I'll be fine, but you'll get killed.
There we go.
It seems like a Black Mirror episode or something. So you would just go, I'm
just letting that happen.
It would be hard. I'll be honest, Terrance. It'd be very hard for me to kill myself in almost any situation.
Exactly.
Like even in knowing I would turn, I don't know. It's hard to really muster the courage to go, let me just blow my head off or something. So it'd be hard, but I don't want to be a zombie, man. I don't want to be just some horrible, mangled shell just eating other humans and shit. Wolves.
Man, you don't know what's possible.
I mean, I'm just saying, in this fictional scenario, zombies are usually not very happy people. You know, they don't seem happy, at least. I mean, who knows? Maybe, has anyone done that? Made a zombie movie from the zombie perspective? Like where they actually, like, though they can't speak, like that we can understand, maybe they can speak and we just don't understand it. You know, and like it's like they're just trying
That's their language.
Yeah, they're like, it's better to be a zombie. You don't have to worry about all this shit. And they're trying to help everyone by converting them, but we just think they're evil.
Gotta go zombie life. Zombie life.
Zombie life. Anyway, if you want to reach out to the show, especially if you're in Germany, feel free to email us, needisaymorepod@gmail.com. We have an Instagram, we have a Twitter. Both are Need I Say More Pod @NeedISayMorePod. That's it for me, Terrance. You got anything else?
Nah, man. I think this was a fun episode. I was trying to look up how to say goodbye in German.
Just Google Translate, I think would be the
right.
Isn't it like Auf Wiedersehen? Isn't that
Auf Wiedersehen?
Isn't that Auf Wiedersehen? Oh, it doesn't.
What?
I think that is Auf Wiedersehen, right? Hit the thing.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah, it just looks different.
Auf Wiedersehen.
She slowed down.
Yeah, she slowed it down. She knows how dumb we are. Did you hear that? She was like, "Oh, hold on."
I just said it.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
All right.
Well, the W's are V's. I know for them. So Auf Wiedersehen. The R is a little.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah. Auf Wiedersehen. They would appreciate that we're trying. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If you write to us in German, we'll use the translate if that's necessary.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we appreciate everyone. As always, be careful for the scammers. Like we mentioned, stay safe, masked up. And if everything shuts down, we'll keep doing this because we understand that you could have been here, you could have been anywhere in the world. Fuck, I fucked it up. That's the guy. Oh my!
You haven't messed up in a while, actually.
Yeah, I was about to. That's the first time in a minute,
it's
man.
All right, man. Yeah, you know what? It was a good streak, but all streaks.
Yeah. Everything comes to the end like the sun's run.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the boy flowing.
Show's off the rails. The show is lost. We should just end it in mid-sentence.